Hello everyone, Skits here, and today I'm going to review the Automatron DLC for Fallout 4. Now I know that in one of my previous videos I said that I was not going to get this DLC, but since it was getting some good reviews and I also found out that it has an actual storyline, I decided to try it out. So let's get to it. Automatron was released by Bethesda on 22nd of March for a price tag of $10. Its main theme is robots. You get to build your own robots, obtain robot stealth armors and weapons, meet tons of new robot enemies, and storyline circles around Mechanist, robot inventor that sent his deadly creations to clean out the Commonwealth. First of all, let's take a look at storyline and main quest. When you reach level 20, you will get a new quest called Menace that basically kicks off main part of this DLC. You will be tasked to take a look at Caravan and send out a distress call, but of course when you arrive, everyone will be dead except for Ada, new robot companion that will accompany you through this quest. She will introduce you to Mechanist's threat and then send you on a few various missions that basically share same common goal, finding a way into Mechanist's lair. To be honest, I thought that questline was kinda weak. There is no introduction to Mechanist whatsoever, you are just thrown right into middle of everything, and quest really only revolves around you finding his hideout without any side quests or even slight development for any characters, and when you'll finish it, you don't even feel like you completed anything. And I think it shares the same problem as most of Fallout 4 quests. It was just plain and not very entertaining. One of few things I liked is Robco Terminals that featured some interesting and funny stories, and if you have time you should definitely read them. When it comes to its length, it will take you maybe 2 or 3 hours to complete, depending on how many locations you discovered, since this whole DLC doesn't add any, except one, and there are also only 2 new dungeons here. One of them is in Fort Hagen, and second one is of course the Mechanist lair. Even though I have to say that Mechanist dungeon is one of best ones in this game. It was big, had tons of different locations and parts to it, and I wish there were more dungeons like this one in this DLC. There are also some other cool moments like arena find with Mechanist, Jezebel or Ahab boss battle, but I think there was not enough of them. After you finish storyline, you can also take on rogue robot quests. These are however radiant, that always repeat, and only difference between them is place and type of robot you are going to hunt. Personally, I was looking forward to this DLC's plot, since Mechanist is one of my favorite characters from Fallout 3, but even he was disappointing. There are almost no connections to Fallout 3 one, and he feels like a completely new character that only shares his name. Now on the other hand, storyline is the weakest part of this DLC, and it will only get better now. So let's move on to the second part, which is new additional content. During my Automatron adventures, I came across 5 or 6 new weapons, 2 armor sets, and some new enemies. When it comes to weapons, I have to mention Tesla rifle, a weapon that shoots electric sort of bolts that move from one enemy to another, and with some additional modifications you can turn it into one hell of a cannon. And I also enjoyed its design, so here I have to give Bethesda one big plus. Then there is also salvaged Assaultron head that charges each time you press reload button, but it also gives you radiation, and there are also a few new melee weapons that have robot design. Armor sets were also pretty cool. Mechanist armor looks exactly like it did in trailers, and we also got new robot armor set used by Rust Devils that come with a few different helmet variations. Each helmet is from robots you can find in game, and of course armor has its light and heavy versions as well. And then there is also new Tesla power armor, an alternative to T60 power armor version that you can obtain during main quest. Now let's take a look at the new enemies. We have before mentioned Rust Devils, new gang in Commonwealth that uses robots and their parts. Their design and visuals were also good. I think they brought some fresh air into Raider gangs, even though they could have had a few more appearances in this DLC. Then we of course also have tons of new robot enemies. You will encounter them through whole quest, and there is a big variety among them. There are some completely new models like Robo Brains, but most of them are modified vanilla robots that however have awesome new designs. There are also robots created by Rust Devils that look scary and tough and mainly focus on melee combat. Then you also have Mechanist creations that look very good as well. I was very impressed by these new enemies, and for me they were second best thing in this DLC, even though by the end same types of robots started to appear way too often. Overall, when it comes to amount of new content in this DLC, Bethesda did a good job, even though I would not mind 1 or 2 additional weapons. Now let's move on to the best and most promoted part of Automatron, and that is robot building. After completing starting quest, Ada will give you schematics for robot workbench, where you can create new robots or modify your already created ones. Here I have to say that just like with weapon customization in vanilla Fallout, Bethesda did an amazing job creating a system where you can basically modify anything, and if you enjoy crafting weapons or building settlements, you're gonna love this part. Every imaginable part of robot is now customizable, from its head to its legs, and you can also add special mods that give robots some sort of special abilities. You can find different modifications by scavenging through dead robots. So for example, if you defeat a SentryBot, you can find SentryBot torso modification on him, and so on. After you finish main part of the quest, all mods will be available to you. So if you don't feel like searching through dead robots, you can just wait before creating any crazy creations and finish main quest instead. Like I mentioned, there is a huge variety between mods, and you can basically make any type of robot you want. You can put Protectron's head on Assaultron's body, then slap some RoboBrain legs there, and also add some weapons like Gatling lasers or miniguns. On top of that, there are also before mentioned special mods that add interesting abilities to your robots that usually also boost your stats, like increased perception or damage resistance. Overall, there is just a lot to customize on bots, and this part of DLC was done very well. You can also send these bots with your caravans, have them stay at your settlements, or have them join you on your adventures if you feel like. So is this DLC worth its price? Well, if you already own Season Pass and you bought it at a discount price, then yeah, of course it is. But if you're going to spend $10 on it, then you might want to think this through. It all depends on what you enjoy in Fallout 4. If you came to this DLC searching for a good storyline with robot creation as a bonus, then you are going to be disappointed. But if you are looking forward to creating your own deathbot and you don't care about quest, then this DLC is exactly for you. Overall, I would give story 5 out of 10. It was weak, and to me it felt like it was created just as an excuse and way of introducing robot crafting, and it has same problems like most of Fallout 4 quests. New content gets a nice 7 out of 10. New weapons and armors were cool, but there could have been a few more of them. And then we of course got the robot creation that gets 9 out of 10, since it is great, well thought feature that allows you to be creative with your robots. So in the end I would give Automatron DLC a solid 7 out of 10. Depending on what you're looking for in this DLC, you can add or remove 1 point. But generally, I would say that at full price this DLC is an okay start to Fallout 4's additional content, even though I think that Bethesda should work on improving their storytelling and quest skills and not focus so much on customization and do-it-yourself part. But that is just my personal opinion, and hey, if you enjoyed it, then this DLC might be for you. And yeah guys, I guess that is about it for this review. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Tell me if it was too trivial, too long, and generally any thoughts you had about it, since it is my first time trying to review something like this. And if you guys enjoyed it, then I might review other DLCs as well. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, subscribe for more Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas content, and I will see you next time.